Donald?
Question, what about in areas that are, I mean, they're public buildings, but what about, like, for example, your cafeteria facility, Bob, where people can go in there and congregate?
Do we have a cafeteria?
We don't have a cafeteria.
Excuse me, it's a coffee shop.
I couldn't, I'm sorry.
County council is not paid to be cute.
Okay, well, if, in county facilities where you have cafeterias, you made your own call about whether it's one or not, but so is it prohibited there? So
Yes,
if somebody's in the cafeteria, they're talking with folks, passersby, whatever, so.
Yes, sir.
It's in the building.
Oh, I know that.
Yes, no, it would be. I mean, I'll just, I mean, I'll go farther than these examples have gone. Retirement functions are not county functions, and the flyers that advertise retirement functions would not be permitted.
Whoa.
Well, see,
Those aren't county functions. Retirement functions are private.
I know, and those come through the mail, they post it on bulletin boards and so forth.
This has nothing to do with mailing anything. You can mail whatever you
No,
want.
I know, but I mean, but they get put on bulletin boards about, about so-and-so's worked for the county 35 years, been a dedicated employee, you come one, come all if you want to. Nobody's forced to take it, but you're, so I understand what you're saying, you couldn't distribute that, you couldn't hand, basically.
I'm just saying, if you go down this way, you're
I
not
know.
going to get pick and choose which, printed material you like. It's none.
We can still approve that kind of material.
Oh,
Specific-
no, no.
No.
Then you're
That's what I'm telling you.
into
You're blanketing this 'cause you-
then you're into content, and you can't get into content regulation.
And that becomes problematic. I mean, those are types of things that, again, without getting into the content part of it, there's obviously things that people might find objectionable, so you either allow it or you prohibit it, but you don't decide what it is you can allow or not, as it relates to content. And I think we've had this discussion in the past on other items, but, I mean, I find that a bit problematic.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know, we got other speakers on this and so forth, but, that's kind of the unintended consequence here. You're going at a root problem
That it?
right now, yeah.
Okay. Where are we here? Staff can make this presentation first? Or did we already?
I think we're done. I think
bypassed
you
the
have
presentation.
at least one speaker. You might invite the speaker up.
I'll second what county council said.
You have a speaker?
Yes, we do.
Okay. They're
I want
saying,
you-
let's hear from the speaker.
I want to be sure staff is all through. Okay, very good. We have Mr. O'Day, followed by Mr. Kravitz, and Deborah Riker.
I'm going to cede my time to Mr. Kravitz because he...
To Mr. Kravitz, okay.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I think you've all read my letter. I believe the county council has stated that I brought up at least one or two good points, so that's high praise. The thing here is I think...
He's telling jokes now, though, too, so be careful.
The thing here is that, as I think some people have pointed out, there's no way to split the baby. First of all, the brief comment there was from staff was that the issue hasn't even really come up, so I have no idea. I'm talking about the pamphlet prohibition, why this is an issue at all. And as has been mentioned already, this building, it is a limited public forum at least, and therefore you can't have any content discrimination in terms of the limited public forum. So even if you were to add on to this more wording, and I'll tell you the more words will make it more constitutionally problematic, not less. For example, if you say you could only pass out brochures concerning an issue or something that's going on, well, what if you're in opposition to something that's going on? Are those people allowed to pass out pamphlets, or only people who are in support of it allowed to pass out pamphlets? Or what about people who think the whole issue is nonsense? Can they pass out pamphlets? You would be getting into a job which no democratic society can have, which is prior restraint of speech. Either that, or some people would get arrested or cited or whatever it is. I guess it would be a citation. And other people wouldn't, and then you'd have selective prosecution of people. Those people would, of course, end up suing the county. There's simply no way you can have a wholesale ban on the distribution of literature in every single county building. There may be some county buildings where you could have such a prohibition. That's possible if it's needed, although it's my bet that any building where you could have such a ban, you don't need it because no one's ever interested in distributing anything there. So here, which is a building where things are frequently distributed, in the lobby and the foyer and in this room and in other rooms, you can't have this blanket ban. First of all, no one has so far stated any reason to have the law, none. So I've heard no reason whatsoever for it. I think it would be a serious mistake to pass any version of that, which is part 2 of the proposition. I think that part 1, the part comparing sticks and placards, is poorly worded. And it appears to be only inside county facilities. I'm assuming by facilities they mean buildings. And I think we'd have to be clear about the use of the word facility, whether facility only means inside buildings or a facility could be so broadly construed as to mean parks, recreation areas, and so forth and so on, or I don't know if the county has sporting facilities and so forth where people might want to bring something to. So I think that the second part should absolutely, there's no way you can make it constitutional, in my opinion. I do teach constitutional law, so I'm not just making it up as I go along. And the first part, I think you'd need to study and word in a way that you are prohibiting that which you want to prohibit, which apparently is people bringing in large sticks and so forth. And that may or may not be constitutional, I don't know. But this wording of it, I think, is very vague. In theory, the way it's worded, it would prohibit that flagstaff from being up here. I don't see how else it couldn't. It says any. It would prohibit a person working for the county from going to their house, going to a store, purchasing a small American or California flag, and bringing it into the building and putting it on their desk. That is presumptively illegal from the wording, because that's a flag on a flagstaff. So unless we're going to have some sort of explanation of what it means and where we're talking about, you're going to run into some sorts of selective prosecution. I think if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I think I've explained what I think.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Thank you.
Thanks.
Deborah Ryder,
Yes.
followed by Greg Bellucci.
Cress Felici. I'm Deborah Rieger. Good afternoon. I'm a citizen of Sacramento County, and I'm not an attorney. I'm an ordinary resident of Sacramento. This concerns me. I'm also a retired state employee, so I've done the civil service work in office business. I'm concerned on a number of fronts. One is my position with Veterans for Peace, an organization nationwide, but in Sacramento County as well. We provide free information for veterans and for people who have children that are considering enlisting, information that is available to help people get information they need about mental health issues when they come back from the service and they need mental health help. Guess where that comes? It comes on brochures, it comes on pamphlets. And people don't go and start a ministry to go hand that stuff out in state offices or in county offices. But sometimes somebody will say, hey, do you know somebody that can help my son-in-law get some mental health help? And somebody will say, oh yeah, I know somebody that has brochures. So pretty soon someone shows up with brochures for mental health issues. Someone shows up with brochures for, you've already mentioned it, someone's retirement party. Have you ever heard about the skits that civil service employees have during the holidays and at retirement parties? And they show up with signs on posts and they show up with all kinds of silly stuff. There are important things that will not be available, including help that people ask for, and not me flyering anti-war stuff. That's, although I don't want you to shut down my right to do that, but I've never been in a county building trying to hand out anti-war stuff, nor have I been in a federal or state building doing that. But you are shutting down the right of your employees to provide each other with counseling information, with information about their rights, information about joining the military. If they have kids that want to join the military, you also won't be able to bring the flyer from the recruiters for the Marines or the Air Force. Information on any number of things. Information about Alzheimer's. Where I worked, we were handing around information about how we could help our aging parents and what public agencies would help them. You don't want those flyers to become unavailable for the people that work in these buildings. And in addition to the issues that Jeff Kravitz mentioned, I'd like to see you disregard the second portion of the recommendation because it's just a silly thing that will hinder your employees' abilities to distribute information that they routinely share with each other right now that help them get through life as ordinary citizens and parents and children of aging parents, and things they need to know to get their lives done. Take a walk through those offices of the people that work for you and watch how much stuff they hand out that they printed at their own time and expense. And they're handing out and helping each other and advising each other during their breaks and coffee time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.